It was a bright and hot Saturday morning in Lagos. The streets were busy with traffic and street vendors were shouting to attract customers. The air smelled of dust and grilled meat from nearby roadside vendors. Apostle Johnson Suleman, the founder of Omega Fire Ministries, was on his way to a church event outside the city. His convoy smoothly drove through the streets, with the lead SUV clearing the way with its siren. Inside his black SUV, Apostle Suleman sat quietly in his elegant cream-colored senator outfit. His Bible was beside him, and his eyes were closed as he softly prayed. He felt a strange stirring in his spirit that day, like something unexpected was going to happen. As the convoy approached a busy market area, one of the security officers signaled to stop the car. "Sir, there's a disturbance ahead," the driver said. Apostle Suleman opened his eyes and leaned forward. Just ahead, a man who seemed mentally unstable was standing in the middle of the road. His clothes were torn, his hair messy, and his eyes wide with intensity. He held a long stick and seemed to be fighting off something invisible. "That's Apostle Suleman," the man shouted, pointing at the car. "I know you. You will not pass." The security officers tried to move him, but he resisted with surprising strength. He wasn't violent, just firm, repeating, "I know you. You carry fire. You must not pass." The people around stopped to watch. Many recognized the vehicle and murmured in curiosity. Inside the SUV, Apostle Suleman felt a strong urge in his spirit to do something. "Don't move him," he said quietly. He opened the door and stepped out calmly. His presence made the chaotic scene pause. The man's demeanor immediately changed. He dropped the stick, staggered back, and fell to his knees, trembling. "I know you," he whispered, softer now, almost reverently. "You came to me in my dream. You carry light, and you shine too much. I can't see." Apostle Suleman walked toward him with compassion. The man's eyes filled with tears, not of madness, but of something deeper. "Who are you?" Apostle Suleman asked gently. "I don't remember my name," the man replied. "I used to be a pastor. I lost everything, my family, my mind. I've been here for years, but I saw you in my dreams. You were wearing white, and your hands burned with fire." Apostle Suleman knelt beside him, placing a hand on his head. "Lord," he began, "you said the Spirit of the Lord is upon me to heal the brokenhearted and set the captives free." This man was lost, but today he was found. He rebuked every spirit of madness and oppression. The man cried out loudly and writhed on the ground as if something was leaving him. After several minutes of prayer, the man stopped shaking and looked around, confused.
"What's happening to me? Where is my wife? My children?" he asked. Apostle Suleman smiled gently and helped him to his feet. "You've been lost for a long time, but today God remembered you," he said. He turned to his team. "Take him to the church guest house, clean him up, feed him, and let him rest. When he wakes up, bring him to me." The man was taken to one of the cars, and Apostle Suleman turned to the crowd, many of whom had tears in their eyes. "This is why we are called," he said. "Not just to speak to multitudes, but to stop for one soul. Even if God delays your journey, it's never a detour. It's destiny." The event he was supposed to attend was rescheduled, and Apostle Suleman spent the rest of the day praying for people who had gathered, moved by what they had witnessed. 3 days later, the man, now well-groomed and glowing with joy, stood before the congregation at Omega Fire Ministries. Apostle Suleman introduced him as Pastor Elijah, a man who had been called by God but had lost his way after a family tragedy and spiritual attack. "I used to have a church in Port Harcourt," Pastor Elijah testified. "After I lost my family in an accident, I cursed God and I lost my mind. For 8 years I wandered the streets forgotten, but God remembered me through his servant." The congregation praised God. Apostle Suleman didn't stop there. He provided Pastor Elijah with accommodation, counseling, and sent him to a quiet mission field in Lagos State to start over, not broken, but restored. The street where the encounter took place became known as the Point of Restoration, where people began to visit and pray. In interviews, when asked why he stopped for the man, Apostle Suleman simply said, "Because Jesus would have stopped too." The gospel is not only preached from behind a pulpit, it's lived in moments like that. From that day on, the story of the madman who blocked his car and knew his name became a living testimony of divine appointments that may look like interruptions.
Pastor Elijah's journey from a mad street wanderer to a respected minister was a miracle, reminding the world that God restores lost destinies, and sometimes even madness must bow when it recognizes true anointing.